99.7 DJX, the Ben Davis and Kelly K Show podcast. Turn it up. On demand.
You know, sometimes you just need the opinion of other people, and you're not sure where to go. So you come to us. Shoot us a message, Ben and Kelly Show, and we'll toss it out to the group, see what we can do for you. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. So by request, we're going to change your name. We're going to call you Jennifer. Is that cool?
Yes, thank you.
All right. All right. So you messaged us, and I wanted to get a hold of you to kind of walk through what you're dealing with here.
Yeah. So I recently took a flight for business.
Uh-huh.
And we were headed to Chicago with a layover.
Sure.
And I was next to a guy, and me and him struck up a conversation. You know, it was fluid. It just kept going, and, you know, we just vibed and connected.
Yeah.
And we actually both had a layover in Chicago together, and we decided to go get dinner together, and that went great. You know, just still, you know, no awkwardness, just kept talking, and just completely a great connection.
I mean,
and
this sounds like quite the circumstance, you know?
Yeah, it was crazy because I usually don't even talk to people usually on the flight. I'm usually just working.
Yeah.
And not even trying to talk to anybody, but it just came so easy that it just happened. And we actually ended up on the flight back to our destination as well. So we sat next together again, and we just kept talking, and it kept going so good that I couldn't believe it. But then we got to our destination, and we walked together to the parking garage, and we actually started making out.
Okay.
And, you know, led to us, of course, exchanging numbers, and we've steadily been, you know, talking and text messaging like every day.
Now, Jennifer, this is all kind of crazy, and it'd be a wild story, but tell me what you're dealing with now.
So I'm engaged.
Not to this
college
guy, right?
No.
Right.
I'm engaged to the guy I've been seeing since college, and the wedding's booked. We have a big guest list. Everything's paid for. You know, the date's set. It's serious, and yeah. I don't know what to do now because I'm really confused, and I was always that girl that I played by the rules. You know, yeah. I never got in trouble. He was really the only guy I ever dated and made out with. So
until this guy on the airplane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm really struggling with that because I've never felt this way before, and I know it sounds cold, but I haven't even felt this way about my fiance.
Do you think you were getting a little bit of cold feet and you allowed yourself to be open to this experience?
I mean, I don't think I would call it being open. It just happened, you know, it just happened, and it felt so good, and it felt right that, you know, and I'm just completely confused. So now I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Okay. So now you're just wondering, what do I do with this? If I'm calling a spade, I cheated on my fiance by making out with this other random guy, and now you have mixed up feelings. All right. Well, I got a lot of people already texting in 502-571-9970, and Jennifer, we will try to steer you in how to figure this out.
Yeah, that would be a great help because I'm struggling.
All right, thank you. Brandy.
I can't really tell if she really wants us to talk her off the ledge and tell her to get married, or if she wants us to tell her to break up. I was really trying to see if I could hear some sort of an indication from the way she was telling the story about which way she really wants us to tell her to go.
Yeah, because people will tell on themselves. And so I think when I was hearing her, almost wanting her, or thinking that she was wanting us to say, you know what, YOLO, go after this guy. I don't know. Brandy says, hey, if she's not happy with who she is, then she should leave. But she cheated on her fiance, so she should tell him. Well, then there's that.
Yeah, a lot of people are mentioning that. Gia said she's definitely not ready. Don't go ahead with a wedding because you've already sent out invitations. That's exactly what I did. 4 years of being unhappy because I didn't want to disappoint the guests. I divorced him, wedding 15,000, divorce 6,000. Yikes.
Okay. I'm going to toss the phone number out. 502-571-9970. It's group therapy. Yeah, we talked to Jennifer, who had a moment, we'll say, with a guy she met on a flight for business, ended up making out with him over by the parking garage, and she's engaged. And now she's all confused and wanting to know if these feelings are an indicator she shouldn't get married. She's like, I don't know. Because,
well, her fiance, she's been with since college, and he's basically the only one that she's ever, been with at all. So I think that's a big reason why now she's starting to question everything.
Sure. Alice is all like, I called off a wedding 6 weeks before the date. This is the rest of her life. She doesn't know anyone anything, as in no obligation to go through the wedding. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Jamie said, same situation, kinda. I gave his ring back the next day and we never spoke again. I don't regret not marrying him. It was a sign that he wasn't for me.
Wow.
Yikes. There's a lot of people that are all like, quick to call her a cheater and say, he deserves better and all of that. But then Anthony is kind of rolling in. And he's got kind of a good point. Sounds like she needs to branch out, as her fiance was her first boyfriend. Sounds like cold feet. Doesn't matter if things are booked for the wedding. If your gut says go for this airplane guy because of the connection, go for it. You don't want to get married and regret it later and get divorced because you're not happy. If there's any doubt of getting married, it's okay to step back, figure out what will make you happy. You only live once.
Wow. Okay. And Charisse is like, at least postpone the wedding. Go figure it out before you commit.
Well, yeah. And then there was another suggestion that, hey, have a conversation with the fiance. If you guys are kind of like, first for both, he might be feeling the same thing. Maybe at the very least you step back, reevaluate.
All right. So Crazy Joe's on the phone. He calls our show from time to time. What's your thought?
She just got a little tongue tickle with her tongue. Suck some face. That's all she did. Suck some face. Do some body grinding, and that is pretty much all she did. If she done ripped clothes off and did the nasty, that's a whole different thing. Tell her to go on with the wedding. That was nothing more than a hot thing in a hot second.
Okay, so Crazy Joe, you're saying, you know what? Put that in your past.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him.
Okay.
Because if she tells him, that's like, that's going to cause a whole bunch of trouble.
Okay.
Just put that in the past. That was a night stand, a fling of the last sexual moment. If she came through and says, I really don't, I'm not in love with my fiance no more, this, that, and the other, give us explanations why she's not in love.
Yeah.
Okay, I can understand that. But she's getting all upset because she did a little clothes burning and suck face? Really?
All right, great.
Oh my God! No! Just put it in the closet and go have her life with this young man.
Crazy Joe, I just never know what you're going to say whenever you call in, so I appreciate you. All right, buddy.
All right.
See ya.
Holy cow!
So that is
hilarious.
There's one for
We're all over the map with this one.
I know. I don't even know what to tell her. Like,
I don't either, because I go back and forth because Joe has a good point. Like if she now has figured out reasons she doesn't love her fiance, that's different. But she just seems like she's a little confused. Like, oh, I like this guy. I thought he was hot. I like to kiss him. Does that mean I shouldn't get married and throw away my future with this guy that I've had this long relationship with?
Yeah, and I get that maybe she is feeling the pressure of, okay, this is a guy I've been with a long time. I've invested a lot of time, and this is what we're supposed to do. And so maybe she's having that as part of her in the back of her mind. Now, if you want to do as Crazy Joe said, hey, chalk it up to maybe cold feet and just, don't throw away what you have with your fiance over just a little tongue-tied kissy face stuff like that. I mean, maybe you go to him and say, hypothetically, if on that business trip I happen to make out with the guy by the
don't say hypothetically because he's gonna know. See, that's really the root of the question. Do we tell the fiance or not about this? Because I feel like we've been real back and forth. Like,
I know
people have very strong opinions on one side, like break up with him or don't say anything, or I don't know. Where are we? Where are we landing?
Are you? Okay.
Where are we landing? Because I feel like if you tell him, there's kind of no going back from that.
Yeah.
Like, the damage is going to be done.
All right,
and who knows? I mean, that might ruin trust with him forever and forever if you're not sure you want to completely walk away from this relationship.
I think if you decide to tell him, know that that's probably the end of your relationship.
Okay. I think that's fair. So she really has to fully evaluate, like, are you willing to lose him?
Yeah.
If you decide to, be honest, or, and who even knows if Airplane Guy is like down for a long-term relationship?
No,
like,
I mean,
who knows where his head's at?
I think in my mind, Airplane Guy is just an object. It's
okay.
Like Airplane Guy is
a moment.
Airplane Guy is an object that opened her eyes to, oh, is this what I really want?
But he's not really a future path.
Yeah, I mean, in my thought, that's kind of what he represents in this. Now, okay, so I did.
Lots of layers.
I know. I did ask her to follow up with us with whatever she does. So hopefully we'll be able to get a follow up. The latter part of this week with.
She needs to do some soul searching, though, before she makes any sort of move. Like, I really think you distance yourself from all of it, and you really, like, dig deep into your soul and your heart and see where you see yourself down the road.
All right, there you go. If you want to chime in, Facebook is a great spot to do it, or you can always text 502-571-9970 with group therapy.